Listen, everybody needs a fairy godmother, just somebody to look out for them. Some people call me their fairy smoke mother, others their internet big sister, but you can call me Hannah, the host of Smoke Sesh. So come hang out, let's light up and talk everything there is to life. The good, the bad, the ugly, the embarrassing. I've got a story for it all. Hello, hotties of the world. Welcome back to another sexy little episode of Smoke Sesh. My name is Hannah, your host, and I'm so excited to be back with you all on this honestly gloomy and spooky little Tuesday morning. How are we all doing today? Me, personally, you're asking me? Wow, thank you. I'm losing my fucking mind. I am. I need my period to start or something to justify these emotions that I'm going through. Girls, the mood swings are absolutely insane, and I can't tell if I'm just losing my mind or if it's just the hormones or whatever the fuck. Wow, I love being a woman. How lucky are we? I'm like, am I going clinically insane, or is it just a normal part of my beautiful, wonderful monthly cycle? Free us, honestly. Anyways. The one thing about the IUD that I will complain about is that sometimes I just don't have a period. Like I'll bleed a little bit, like a droplet amount, maybe for like one day, and then I just don't get it, which I mean, you might be like, oh my God, that's a blessing. Like I hate going through a period. But for me personally, tracking wise, I don't mind the whole bleeding part. It's just the hormones I don't exactly like. And bitch, if I'm going to get the hormones, I might as well bleed as well. I might as well release it physically. And sometimes with the IUD, especially mine being a little bit higher in hormones, I don't always get my period. Sometimes it's like a month late, sometimes it just doesn't happen, sometimes I just bleed for a little bit. It's pretty random and pretty sporadic. So everybody pray for me, everybody keep me in your prayers, because this bitch ain't having a baby, that's for fucking sure. We've made it this far, it's definitely not gonna happen now. That would not be a gift from God, that would be a curse on me, truly. Bring back the days where they would just send us to a faraway place next to the sea because they thought our period blood was cursed, and they would let us all bleed out together. Like truly, that is the dream. What do you mean I have to go to work while bleeding out my fucking guts and like wanting to murder everybody? Please don't make me act normal in a very unnormal situation. Anyways, I hope your guys' week was good. Mine was pretty good, honestly. Let's see. Last week I had horseback riding lessons, which I have again today. It's been so freaking fun. I love challenging myself, and honestly, I think I'm gonna ask them if they need volunteers and stuff, because I want to learn more like ranch hand work, not with working like cows or anything, but definitely like being able to take care of a horse, like muck a stall, be able to like take hay out, things like that, like small little things. At this point in time, 2 months, 3 months in, I know how to tack up a horse and like get it out of the pasture and basically do everything on my own. I'm learning more fine tuning things when it comes to riding at this point. But now I'm also like, I need a distraction, and I honestly would love to be out there and to learn more little meticulous, maybe what most people think is not fun, but for me being new to it, more fun, more interactive things when it comes to just being on a farm and being able to take care of it, especially if that's something that I'm like working towards in the future. You guys, I am trying to get my money to get up there, to get rich. I don't want to be in Hollywood. I do not want a penthouse suite. No, babe. I want to get lost. I want to get lost in the woods with my horses, with fucking goats and sheep and alpacas and a shotgun. Like, call me Republican. Nope, don't do that. But like, honestly, your girl wants to get lost in the woods. I want to be that weird, scary old lady that during Halloween everybody in the random small town is like, have you heard about the lady living in the woods? And it's like me. Like, yes, make me that witch type figure. Speaking of, we are going to get into the witchier side of things today. I'm very excited to talk about just spell work and what October brings. The veil is thinning. It is thinning a lot. as we approach Halloween, I have noticed that, more little things are happening, things that you just can't describe, things that you really can't argue with, things that are unexplainable. And I've had a few of those interactions, so we'll talk about that soon. But I also went to a little house show last week. One thing about the Midwest, there's someone always with a screamo band in their backyard. So I went to horseback riding lessons, immediately went to a house show, partied it out, had a good little time. That's really the only going out I did this week. I uploaded a new recipe, which is very approachable for all my girlies. It's just like a pumpkin chocolate chip pancake recipe. It's fire if you want to cook a loved one breakfast. If you want your random hookup to fall in love with you, girl, bounce on it and then go cook him some pumpkin pancakes. I guarantee he will fall madly, deeply infatuated with you. Oh, and then one last thing. Me and my friends will always like go out to movies. We go out to movies a lot. If we're doing anything together, honestly, we're getting dinner, we're going to a movie, we're smoking a bunch of weed beforehand. Like at this point in time, the maitre d', is that what you would call them when you're walking into a movie theater who scans your ticket? Like they are they know us at this point. They know us. They don't even like check our IDs or check our purses anymore. They're like, just come in. Like, we know what you're here for. It reeks of weed. Welcome back. Here's your popcorn. Please go sit down and don't cause a ruckus. But we went and saw, what's it called? One Battle After Another. Listen, I saw Leonardo DiCaprio and I was like, I don't know, you guys. Unfortunately, that man can act. Unfortunately, you put that man in an acting position, he will get it done every single time. And this is probably in my top 3 movies of the year. It was so incredibly good. It was such a good watch. Like, I was enthralled from beginning to end. It took me like at least 5 hours afterward for my adrenaline to come down after watching that movie. But it was fantastic. If you need a good little escapism movie, if you need a little like, I need to get out of my house and do something, go see this. Go get a bucket of popcorn, go get a frozen icy, and like lock in. I think it's like 3.5 hours long, so it is fantastic if you need to just like run away from the world and also see something that is just truly incredible to watch. Tens across the board for that movie. It was such a fun watch. I love a good movie. And sometimes, listen, going to the movie theaters is a gamble, okay? Sometimes that trailer looks really fucking good and you show up and you're like, ooh, I just wasted $10 and 2 hours of my time. That's what's so fun about the movie experience. You have no idea what you're going to feel coming out of there, but there's no better feeling than coming out of a good movie and being like, oh, wow, new personality unlocked, new vibes achieved, new outlook on life. Wow, that was amazing. Like, it is truly so worth it. So please go see this movie. Not sponsored, just such a fun activity. Oh, yeah, and then my brother came into town this weekend. I love being an aunt. Like I said, not ready for children. I was left alone with a 2-year-old and a 5-year-old for about 3 hours, which I used to do as a job. Like when I was a nanny, I the exact same ages, except for they didn't take naps. I don't know how I mentally did that for 2 years, but I was left alone with my niece and my nephew, and I literally, my brother and my sister-in-law got back after their run, and I was like, you guys do not get paid enough. Like, truly, wow. Because these kids, oh my God, they're one's throwing fucking baseballs at me. It's landing in my dad's coffee. It's like splashing all over his face. He's giggling, running in circles. The other one has like a Sharpie out and is drawing on everything. I'm like, oh, wow. You literally cannot keep your eyes on both of them at one time because they are just go, 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 go. But I love them down. They are the sweetest little kids ever. I love being an aunt. I love being the fun aunt too. Literally, anytime we're together, the kids, they know who to ask when they want something. They look at me immediately. They're like, Aunt Hannah, I need this now. And you know what? My wallet is out before they even say anything, honestly. But it's always so fun. And also, it's a really good perspective of like, you're not ready yet. Like, enjoy this time with these kiddos. But like, girl, you cannot handle all that right now. That's crazy. And props to my sister-in-law and my brother for being able to do that. I mean, they're in their mid-30s, so it makes more sense. But still, I'm like, oh, wow. Oh, wow. Like, peace, quiet. The most I wake up to in the morning is my cat, like, maybe poking me with one claw. That, I'm good with that. I am good with that for now. Absolutely. But enough of me rambling. Let's get into your guys' questions. Someone asked, how is the season of The Witch going for my favorite witch? Honestly, it's going really good. Like I said, the veil is thin. The veil is thin right now, guys. And literally my front door is opening on its own. I'm not even kidding. I looked at my boyfriend last night. We were watching right now I'm rewatching all the Conjuring movies. I'm going through all the like series of scary movies and watching them. So I just watched Twilight. We're rewatching all the Conjuring movies because the new one came out. Like I want to rewatch like the Scream movies, Halloween, Sinister, the Saw ones are also really good, you know, things like that. And he is anti-ghost. Like anytime I start bringing up ghosts or anything like that, spirits, paranormal, he immediately shuts it down because I think he's a little scared. Ooh, and like it's okay, of course, like the unknown is like naturally scary, but for me personally, growing up, I have always been pretty in tune with it. Not in a way where I can like communicate with the dead or anything like that. Like I definitely can't do that, but the veil has always been thin for me where I've always just been aware. And I'm like, you've never seen a ghost before. Like you've never seen with your own two eyes an apparition. He's like, no, I don't think so, but I've definitely felt something. Like I can feel something. And I think that's what happens with most people. You're like, I can feel the energy's off. I can feel, you know, a presence here. But for me personally, not only do I get the feelings, but I also just like, I see things. I really do. I'll see a fucking, like I said, pioneer woman sitting in my living room at 2 a.m. And it's like, okay, excuse me. I mean, you're fine to chill. I have no problem as long as you're chill with me. But like, I need to get through here. Thank you. It's always been like that. Even in my old house, it's been like that, where I would see things like walking through my hallways, or at my old job when I worked in a church where, of course, like funerals happened. I would see things walking through the hallways during nap time at my old Christian or Catholic college. Yeah, definitely had a lot of paranormal experiences there in the dorms, or even just like in the classrooms late at night, in the library late at night. And then especially here where I live, this is a very, very old apartment. I mean, as you can tell with the vibes going on behind me, like literally fireplace in an apartment. Hello. But especially here, and like literally not even kidding, had my neighbor die downstairs about 2 months ago, there has always been just different paranormal apparitions, things like that happening that I have just become used to. And as Halloween approaches and as the veil thins, I'm definitely seeing more of those things, feeling more of those things, not in an evil demonic way, but definitely more so in like, okay, I'm aware of you more so now than ever way. So yeah, my witchy senses, or whatever you want to call them, bitch, they're tingling, they're up there, that's for sure. Personally, if you if you are approached by any sort of apparitions or ghosts, you have to see it as like a neutral sense. I do think, especially with that kind of energy, it does feed off of like fear a little bit. So don't be fearful. I mean, like, bitch, if I'm dead and I'm coming through the hallway, like, don't be scared of me. I'm just trying to get through, you know? So don't feed into it. Definitely just like acknowledge and move forward. That's the best way to go about it. But I also wouldn't provoke. Like, I wouldn't go into it being like, yeah, I'm going to mess with these spirits or I'm going to disturb them. I think that's real fucked up. I think that's like a low-key more evil than the spirits probably are. Like, let them be. They just want to rest. They just want to chill. Like, leave them alone. And I've always gone with that kind of understanding, and I've always been good because of that. Like, messing with Ouija boards, I'm not big into that. I really haven't ever done that. Communicating with the dead, not big into that. I'm like, they're there, I'm here, and we can coexist. And I think that's the best way to really approach and understand. I would not go around poking in graveyards and like trying to provoke spirits, because that's gonna get messy, babe. That's gonna get real messy real quick, and all of a sudden your entire family line is cursed. Like, I don't need to be dealing with that. Now, when it comes to the magic side of things, I'm sure you guys already know, I have been like a practicing, I guess you could call it, witch for quite a bit of time. I remember in high school, I lived in the suburbs, so I mean, I wasn't like raised with any sort of like spiritual practice. I wasn't raised in some sort of like coven. It was something that I had to find and discover for myself. I think I've never got to meet the older women in my family, but the stories that I hear from both sides, my dad's side and my mom's side, it sounds like they were very metaphysical people or very out there women. And I mean, I love that I come from that long line of women, and I wish I would have, been able to spend time around them. I think they died before I was born. But I do think it is a tradition that has been carried through my family, but not necessarily taught, more so born with. So around like middle school, high school, me and my friends on like the first Fridays of every month, we would run up to the city. Yes, we would come to the city, and we would just run around the city, going to art shows, going to concerts, festivals, whatever it may be, just causing a nuisance. And there was always one metaphysical shop that I would go to, that I would visit, and I would always like spend my, oh my God, I'm working at a daycare money on. I would always just like collect bones, teeth, herbs, anything I could really get my hands on, tarot cards, books. And from there, it slowly started to grow. I didn't actually start performing spells or any sort of witchcraft until after high school. But I think me going slow and taking my time and really being aware and gaining as much knowledge as I can before jumping into performing like witchcraft and spells has led to the success that I do have. I don't think you should ever jump into like spellcraft or anything like that before having the knowledge. I think knowledge is very important for anything you do. Being aware of what you're doing is very important. Intention is everything when it comes to any sort of like witchy aspect of life. So if you are a baby witch out there or somebody who wants to get more into the metaphysical, knowledge is everything. Read, research, get your hands on any kind of books that you can. That's what's really going to help you and aid you through your journey. But yeah, I remember being in high school and like guys coming up to me and being like, oh, so you're the witch, right? And it's like, I mean, I guess, but not really. Like I really wasn't performing spell work at that point in time. Now, yes, definitely. Like if someone came up to me, it's like, yeah, for sure. I'm very careful with the spells that I do. I'm very careful with the type of work that I do. I really try to not disrupt the balance of life or really change people's lives in any sort of way. That means I am against love spells. I am against manipulating people into liking you. I am against that. But I am pro like money spells or glamour magic or anything like that regarding yourself and bringing positivity towards yourself for like manifestation. I think all of that kind of work is fantastic, amazing. Feel free to mess with your own life, but never ever mess with anybody else's. I remember in 2020 when it was like, you should go hide crystals under his pillow and you should cut his hair out of his head and burn it and do this and he'll fall in love with you. Pay an Etsy witch $11 to make him fall in love with you. I hate that shit because it's like, you should not have to be performing witchcraft to make a man like you or to even be aware of a man liking you. That is like a major red flag. He should just like you. You should be aware of him liking you. You should not have to like be under a full moon with fucking crystals and herbs armed to the teeth performing spells every single night to get him to like you. That's weird. That's crazy. That's wild. And dare I say, it's not going to go how you want. The universe is always playing tricks on us. It's always like, teaching us lessons. And so you need to be aware that when you mess with the balance of things, there's going to be lessons that come out of that. And that means sometimes if you do spell work in a love perspective, they could become infatuated with you in a way that you don't like, or they could become obsessed with you and then you realize you hate them. And it can just be very intense, not something that I recommend messing with at all. But like I said, money manifestation, money bowls, glamour magic, love magic on yourself, like absolutely tens across the board. I'm so down for. I have a couple like anxiety spells. I have a working altar for my cat to make sure he's healthy, working altar for myself when it comes for personal glamour magic or spell work that I want to do on myself. But I do keep it very light, very chill, very simple. Okay. If you want to have more in-depth spells, I do post a lot of them on the Patreon. I've been posting a lot this fall, Halloween era as well, because I know more people are becoming curious or interested in it. So, I mean, go check it out. You can always find fun new things to try on your own. And yeah, a lot of spell work is intentionality. Like, what are you trying to bring forth? What makes sense to you? What herbs make sense to you? What crystals make sense to you? What do you want to work with? Do you want to work with tarot cards? Do you want to work with astro cards? Like, it's all so personal, and I think that's so incredibly beautiful. No one can necessarily tell you exactly how to do something or exactly how to perform something. That's why I say knowledge is so important, but so is just your intuition. Working with your intuition, connectivity to yourself, understanding what you need and bringing that forth. It's all very powerful, especially now more so than ever. Actually, I think my vlog this week is going to be, I found out through the grapevine that in Missouri, there were these two sisters that were cursed as witches. The townspeople, whatever the fuck, thought they were witches and then locked them in a jail cell in the middle of the woods. So I think I'm going to go bring just a little offering for them and share a little bit more of my witchy side of things. Maybe show you guys my altar, maybe do an altar revamp with you all this week on YouTube. Okay, YouTube vlogs. Hannah's a witch. But that's at Hannah Marlene 444 if you want to check it out. It should be up on Sunday, and if you want to see it early, it will be up on the Patreon early, of course. Someone also asked sex magic. Okay, no, I don't think you need to, like I said, perform magic during sex. That seems crazy. The real magic of sex is you being into it, like so goddamn into it that you're like, is there magic involved? That's what sex magic should be. But no, I don't think I would be bouncing on it and being like, you're gonna be mine. Like, I mean, you can be, but like, there's no reason for you to perform like sex magic spells. That seems crazy. Now, I know people talk about the O method, and I do think the O method works once again because it's not involving other people. You're not, disrupting the balance of other people. It's only regarding you. The O method is when essentially, and I it's a little crazy. Sometimes I say this stuff out loud and I'm like, I know it sounds wild, but also it's like, it just works. It is a part of just like the method, one may say. So essentially it's like when you're jerking off, when you're masturbating, okay, essentially you are just going to imagine and visualize what you are desiring. Ideally, not another person, but something that you want to bring forth, something that you want to manifest for yourself. And as you're bringing forth like that good, positive energy to yourself, that in turn is building up the good, positive energy in that thing that you're desiring, bringing it closer. I've been seeing a lot of girls talk about the O method recently on all the social medias, and it does work. It does work. But sex magic, not necessary. I don't think you need to be bouncing on it. Like I said, looking at him in his eyes being like, you are mine for forever. I mean, you could say that, love it, but sex in itself should be magic when you're with the right person. And it'll be undeniably so. It will feel like you two have been effing for 1,000 years, 1,000,000 years, and you finally found each other again. That's what real sex magic should feel like. Oh, okay, we have a lot of questions to get through, so let's get into the rest of them. Some of them are making me giggle. Someone said, my coochie smells after doing it raw. Normal? Could be normal just because, like, men are usually always going to throw off your pH balance because, especially if you're letting them cum inside of you, which don't recommend. I don't care what birth control you're on, girl. Protection. I will say it again. Protect yourself. Especially if you don't know that fucking man. But if that gets in you, it's going to throw off your pH balance because naturally it's different than what you got going on down there. Okay. Now the smell, it shouldn't be like intense. It should not be like I'm concerned. Like, of course, take care of yourself, shower afterwards if you need to, like wipe it up down there. Don't just let it all sit and simmer, girl. It's really going to smell. Take care of yourself, of course. But also there is something to be said about like, if it's too much, maybe something bigger is going on. maybe he gave you BV, maybe, you know, you were developing something else. I think it's very important as a woman, since we go through so many different cycles and so many things are going on, to be very aware. I try and track to the best of my ability how my body functions during a cycle, just so I know what's normal and what's not, so then I can check back in. If I'm like, what is this, right? Is this normal? I can check back in and be like, oh yeah, I usually am going through this during this cycle. And if anything seems out of norms, I'm aware of it. I think being aware of your body as a woman and how it functions is very important, and it does bring strength. I don't think we should ignore our bodies. I think we've been taught to ignore our bodies, but I don't think we should be ignoring our bodies. I also am a big proponent of like, your body will react to the wrong man, and it will react negatively, okay? If he's throwing off your cycle, if, you know, the smell down there's really bad after having sex, if you get really bad cramps after having sex, if you're breaking out, if your body is not like physically pulled towards him, if it's like physically repulsed by him, that your body will tell you if you're with the wrong person, if you're with the wrong partner. It will physically tell you. You will start experiencing ailments and symptoms that you have never experienced before. Like I said, it's important to listen to your body. Your body will tell you if you're wrong with the wrong person. Absolutely. pH will be thrown off. Things that you don't want will be caught. Like, be aware, okay? Stay safe. Good bra recommendations. Everything is overpriced and falls apart. You're so right about that, queen. Honestly, as a smaller booby girl, I can only recommend very like a certain kind of bra. If you are like a double D, triple D, F, the rest of the alphabet, like my bra recommendations probably will not work for that, because I understand you're going to need something with a little bit different build and a little bit more security. So please keep that in mind. I think the best thing you can do, no matter the bra size, is to go get a proper fitting. I don't mean from Victoria's Secret. I mean from like a real shop that focuses on women of all body shapes and sizes, that carries many different kinds of bras, who fits them to your body. I think that is, number one, the best way to go about it if you want a long-lasting, good quality fitted bra. Now with that, it probably is going to cost a lot of money. For me personally, how I achieve these girlies, it is the Skims push-up bra. I used to wear Victoria's Secret, and I mean, I'm not like a bra girly who has like 8 of them around. I have one good bra, and I usually buy one every 2 years. I know, crazy. I don't really focus on my bra. Like, I just want it to fit and last and be able to go through the washing machine. But this is the Skims push-up bra. This is how I achieve this C-like build, even though I have B's, sometimes A's on a bad cycle day. Not to promote Kim K, I know, but it's just what I wear, and it's the only thing that seemed to work for me personally, and I'm not going to give you any BS answer. This is just what I wear. It's what works for me. It's fairly cheap. I think it was like $60. I got it on sale, so it was like $45. Semi good quality, as in like it'll last a couple years. It's definitely not going to last a lifetime, but it secures the girls, it holds them in place, it pushes them up to my neck, and I'm happy. Death row meal. Oh, is this like Mythical Kitchen last meals where I can have like 18 meals, or is this just one meal? I'm gonna give you the last meal version that Mythical Kitchen would do for me if I ever become like rich and famous. So this is what I'm doing. I am doing fettuccine alfredo, extra parm on top, with a crisp Diet Coke, preferably in one of those tall plastic Coca-Cola red diner cups with crushed ice. I love me some noodles, so I'm also going to need a bowl of jjajangmyeon, which is pork belly and mushroom black bean noodles. I need hot honey chicken strips with Cajun seasoned fries and a Hawaiian roll and a gallon jug of ranch dressing. I'm not even kidding. Preferably, if it could be found, from Wings and Things on Troost. It is the fucking best. You have to wait 45 minutes for your order every single time, but that's how you know it's worth it. Breakfast burrito, period. Potato, egg, cheese, bacon, hot sauce, wrapped up, grilled. Coconut crab soup from Blue Sushi and smoked salmon nigiri. Chile relleno with side tortillas and a guacamole tostada. And for dessert, I want the gummy twin snakes. You know the twin snakes? They're the best. They're so good. They're my favorite gummy. And a bowl of Frosted Flakes cereal. That's it. That's all I need for dessert. Those are probably like my favorite menu items anywhere. Anywhere. All of a sudden, I'm starving. So sorry. Someone asked, do I have to pay for him? Ooh. It depends. Honestly, if you don't want to pay for him, find you a buyer. Find you a man who's going to pay for everything. It's probably going to take some time. You're probably going to have to sacrifice some things, okay? But if you want a man to pay for everything, if you take your time and look for one, I think you can find a man who pays for everything. Now, if you want more of a like equal balanced partnership, I mean, sometimes you can pick up the bill, sometimes he can. I think if it's a very, very nice date, a first date, a third date, a fifth date, even if you're 5 years in and this man says, I'm taking you on a date, he should pay for it. I think there are days where your man should spoil you. Abso-fucking-lutely. But also, like, if you want to buy coffee in the morning, like, fuck it, just throw your card down. I don't think you should think so much about it, but also there should be intentionality behind it, where it's like, if this man's taking you on a date and saying he's going to take care of you tonight, he should do so. I don't think you should feel obligated to throw your card down. But also, if you're like pulling through the local coffee shop line and it's like, whatever, it's easier for me to grab my card and pay $9, like, you're not even thinking about it, cool, amazing. If you're paying for most things and you're like, this doesn't feel right, you got to ask yourself, do I want to be with a person that I pay for? Or do I want to be with a person who pays for me? Or do I want it 50-50? Anything you want and desire, you can bring forth. I don't believe in set relationship roles for every relationship. All relationships are going to look different. All of them are going to behave differently. All of them are going to act differently. All of them are going to have different dynamics. What is most important is, does it work for both people? Does it work for you? Is this dynamic something that you want in a relationship? If not, you can find what you're seeking. What you're seeking is out there. It is. Genuinely, anything you desire in this life is out there. How patient are you? How much do you want it? How far are you willing to look for it? Never settle. Always be looking. Always keep that in mind. Know what you want. Go after it. Period. Point blank. How is your winter cure planning going? What have you come up with so far? Tips, please. Honestly, mine's going pretty good. I'm having a good understanding of how I want my next phase to be, which is the hibernation integration. I think for everybody else, it begins the start of November, but I'm going to be in Japan in the start of November. So I'm going to start mine when I get back from Japan. And for me, planning for this has looked like, what does my ideal daily routine look like? What does my ideal weekly routine look like? Like, what hobbies am I doing on what days? What hobbies am I picking up? What activities am I doing in my free time? What books am I reading? Setting goals, okay? Whether it's like, okay, I want to start going to the gym. Great, that's a fantastic goal. Let's start with once or twice a week, and then we can work our way up maybe in the next phase. Oh, I want to read one book a month. Okay, how are we going to fit that into our daily and weekly schedule? Maybe set 3 new goals. 3 is very manageable, especially for the span of like 4 to 5 months. And then I'm also making a dopamine menu. Dopamine menus are very important, especially when we're not getting them naturally in our winter cycle. Maybe not naturally from the sun, not naturally from being outside as much. So my dopamine menus is things that are healthy hits of dopamine, not drugs, not sex, not fucking up my life or whatever. Okay, not alcohol. Healthy dopamine is, I hate to say it, going to the gym, going to a yoga flow, doing a 5-minute stretch routine at home, cooking myself a really good meal. Maybe it's doing a little bit of online shopping. I'm not spending hundreds of dollars, but maybe I'm buying myself within budget that one thing that I really wanted to have been thinking about for a while. Maybe it's doing a little bit of self-care. Maybe it's going on a drive and listening to my favorite music. Maybe it's smoking a little bit of weed, because I do have a healthy relationship with weed. Whatever it is, write it down, have your dopamine menu. So when you're rolling around crying on the floor and you're like, I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. What do I do with my time? You can quickly open that notes app, bing bong, pick, done, integrate, feel better. So I really am in-depth planning right now. I wrote down like what I'm really planning in a list format. It's uploaded on the Patreon if you're looking for a visual cue. But yes, working on daily routine because every day is different. Working on weekly routine because every day is different. Hello. And then dopamine menu, which are easy, grabbable things that I can implement to up my serotonin. And then 3 main goals that I want to achieve by the end of this process. I'm also sitting back, resting, relaxing, allowing myself to indulge a little bit during this time so I can get it out of my system before the hibernation integration phase comes in, before I start implementing all of the really hard things that I don't want to do, but I know I need to do. So I'm kind of in vacation mode right now, planning vacation mode, allowing myself to indulge before we get into the let's get to work part of it. This is fun. How do I feel at peace with my wild side? Ooh, for me personally, my wild side, if she becomes a caged animal, she starts making very bad decisions. So I do let her out of the cage with caution every once in a while. I am a kind of person who, I'm a Gemini. Sometimes I'm fucking batshit insane. Sometimes I'm like very peace, chill era, like it's give and take, ebb and flow. So when I am in the mood to maybe like go out, have a drink, dance it out, I don't like hinder that side of myself, because if I keep pushing that side down and down and down and down, I'm eventually going to explode, and I'm going to go out and I'm going to drink a shit ton. I'm going to party a shit ton. I'm going to go on a bender. It's not going to be good. Actually, I haven't been on a bender in a while, years, but like I know this because in the past I used to push that side down. No, I'm not allowed to do those things. I'm not allowed to be crazy and wild and fun, and then I just explode. Okay, that's when the chaos comes out. You don't want to be chaotic. You do not want to be chaotic. You don't want to be the friend who's a mess, who's drunk, who's making mistakes, who's making the bad life choices, who's dropping out of school and going out to be like a party loser. Like, you do not want to be that person. And the way to contain the chaos is to understand how you're feeling in that moment and appease in that moment, so then you don't freaking blow up. All right. Like I said, I am a party girl. I'm a reformed party girl where I'm not going out every single night or every single weekend. But sometimes, maybe once a month, I just want to get out of my normal routine. I want to go see some live music. I want to maybe go to a new restaurant and have a cocktail. I want to maybe go to a jazz club, whatever it may be. Like, I need to listen to that, and I need to have balance within my life. Everything can't be so rigid and confining, or else you're going to forcibly break out of the box. You have to allow yourself to step out of the box every once in a while so you can comfortably step back. Okay, so the walls aren't exploded and the box is gone. It's so you can continue on the path that you desire with also feeling appeased with every side of yourself. I think there's duality and contradiction to everybody. We're not all going to be that amazing, perfect, oh my God, I'm going to the gym every single day, I'm at peace, I'm yoga flow, mushroom girly. Like, that's only going to last so long before you need to break out of that side of yourself, to have a little bit of fun, to enhance that wild child side of yourself. And so you got to experience that side of yourself. You can't just push it down. You got to allow her to be her, but also you need to understand, like, she can't be here all the time. The chaotic side of myself can't be here all the time. The wild girl can't be here all the time. I got to fucking button up my suit and go to work sometimes. I got to interact with my normal acting family sometimes and be a regular human being. I need to go grocery shopping. Okay. I need to clean my house, whatever it is. Like, you need to have balance in everything. And if there's not that balance, with good or bad, with crazy or not, then one becomes too intense than the other, and they will quickly flip on top of each other. Think about this. Like, you think about, like, I went to Catholic school for college, so I saw this a lot. I would see all the little Catholic girls who finally get a taste of freedom. Oh my God, my mom's not forcing herself, like, as a watchful eye anymore. I actually have some freedom. I'm gonna go fucking balls to the wall, insane, crazy. These girls were like getting their first taste of freedom and blacking out and hooking up with as many people as they possibly could within that first span of the week of being there. And it's like, that's because they've never had a taste of it. They feel so confined, and now all of a sudden it's flipped, and now they're way too chaotic. They're way too out of control. You need balance. It's okay to have duality. It's like Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. You gotta let Mr. Hyde out sometimes in the nighttime. Like, you gotta go have your fun. You gotta understand the balance of it all, or else the chaos becomes too much. And you do not want to be that chaotic person. The older I am, the more I really, really appreciate a balanced person. I used to be a very chaotic person. I mean, I think your early 20s is learning how to understand the chaos so you can bring in balance. But I was such a nuisance when I was just like a chaotic ass bitch. Like, oh my gosh, I'm running here, I'm running away, I'm going there, I'm dropping out of school, I'm partying all the time, fuck it, I'll take this drug, yeah, I'll go to this concert, yeah, I'll go to this state. And it sounds fun in like theory, sure, I have a lot of good stories from it. But in reality, it's so draining. It's so lonely because the friends you're building during that time are also chaotic. They're not stable. They can't show up for you as a good friend. You can barely show up for yourself. You don't know what day it is. You don't know what's going on. You don't know what the next year has in store for you. You're living day to day. You're waking up. You're like, all right, let's figure out what we're doing today. That is not a way to live life. It is so anxiety inducing. It is so lonely. It is so draining. Like, you cannot live in a chaotic state for too long, or else you're just going to dig yourself into a hole. You need balance. And to avoid the chaotic side, you just have to indulge sometimes in that wild child side. You're going to have like, maybe, okay, every other month I'm going to go out and just like have a good little night, you know, have a chill little cocktail, go out with some friends, have a giggle, have a laugh, maybe see a concert, let that side out of me, and then go back to the real world and keep functioning. You gotta have that balance of appeasing every side of yourself. You cannot let one side indulge too much, like I said, or else it will completely flip on top of yourself. And I know as I'm entering like my whole winter goals thing, you might be thinking, okay, well, that's going to be so rigid. I'm not going to allow myself to do any fun. And that's why I think like having that dopamine menu is important. What are healthy things that I can indulge in that are going to make me feel a little bit of a serotonin boost, you know? So I'm like, okay, yeah, I will do a little bit of shopping here and there. Okay, yeah, I will make sure I'm eating some yummy food, or, you know, I will allow myself to maybe go out once a month, every once in a while, to have a couple cocktails with my friends. Like, I'm not going to pull myself away from the world, because I understand that pulling away just slingshots me back into it, but with much more force than I really ever need. So I'm making room and understanding the balance of life, understanding the balance of personality, understanding the balance of just like what it is to be a human being. Do not be a chaotic human being. If you can avoid being a chaotic human being, I highly recommend doing so. And it's okay to like wake up one day and be like, oh shit, I am a chaotic ass bitch. I have no real friends. If my tire blew out on my car, I have no one to call to come find me, because I haven't built any good long lasting friendships. I just have people who I do drugs with or party with. You know, every day is blending together because it's the same routine of me doing like the most chaotic shit ever. I'm indulging in bad behaviors. I'm not building myself up. It's okay to like wake up one day and be like, I can't do that anymore. Like, I gotta have some structure and routine to my everyday life to feel like a normal human being. It's okay. You can take time. You can realize you can build that up. But that doesn't mean you also have to succumb that wild side of yourself. It's okay to let her out every once in a while, so then you feel appeased in every aspect of your life. Because I get that way too. If I don't let her out, I'm like, I need to book a plane ticket to the party city capital of the goddamn world. I need to spend a week losing my mind. And then it's like, no, girl, you just need to get out of the house. And I get out of the house, and all of a sudden I forget about that crazy, wild, indulgent plan that I had made, you know? I also think a lot of it is like escapism. Sometimes you need a little escapism in life. Sometimes life's too much, and running too far away completely removes you from life. Entering that chaotic era removes you completely from life because you're running. I don't want you to ever run from life. But sometimes life becomes too much. And that's why I think balance is good. Letting that wild side of yourself out is allowing you to escape from the real world for just like a moment before you feel refreshed so you can enter back into it. Balance, balance, balance. You got this. It's probably the one lesson that I am learning the most right now, or maybe something that I've been subconsciously doing for a while and not realizing how much of a positive effect it does have on me. But it is something that I'm realizing more now so than ever, especially because I'm finding a good balance where it's like, do I want to go out? No, everybody else is. That's okay. You can go home. Oh, do you want to go out? Do you need to just go like dance with your friends? Good. Then go do it if you really need to. Listening to your gut, following it, figuring out what's best for you. You guys, my snail is currently laying eggs. This is crazy. This is wild. How to deal with nasty, clingy men while working alone as a bartender. If there's one thing I've learned bartending late nights around nasty, clingy men, or even just like partying around nasty, clingy men, the meaner you are, the better your tips are, the stronger your boundaries are, and the more the men like you. I don't know what it is, but if you giggle at them, wow, you're so funny, and then turn around and you're like, I can't do it anymore, your tips aren't going to be as good, and they're probably just going to keep entertaining you because you're appeasing them. No, be a mean ass bitch at that bar. Be as mean as you possibly can be. First of all, it's going to establish boundaries of, I don't really like you, and I'm not going to entertain your weirdo fucking games. Also, for some reason, men at bars love to be demeaned by women. I don't know what it is, but it will get you the fattest tips of your goddamn life. So not only is it establishing clear, direct boundaries where you're like, you're gross, you're weird, you're gross. What are you drinking? Here's your tab. You better tip me $100 fucking dollars. I don't know what it is about weird, nasty men. They love that shit and they will tip you fat. But also you are reinstating your boundaries of like, I don't care about you. I'm here to work. Leave me alone. I also think it's very important. Like, I wouldn't work in a bar space or a late night space that doesn't have, and I know this is like, I don't know if this is weird, but this is just me personally. I would not work in any sort of those spaces that don't have a bouncer. I don't even feel comfortable going to like dive bars in Kansas City that don't have either like men working at the bar or men as bouncers or even like a very strong badass fucking bitch. Like, it doesn't have to necessarily be a man, but just somebody in a position that I know can take care of me because it's just not safe, you know? I used to work late nights in a bar or bar restaurant, and I had a bartender, also manager, who was an older man, and he always made sure, you know, where are you parked? Do you feel comfortable walking to your car? You know what? I don't even give a fuck. I'm going to walk you to your car. I'm going to make sure you're safe. He's like, I want to smoke a cigarette anyways. Like, let me go smoke. Let me walk you to your car. Make sure you're good. I talked about going to the club recently, who this man was being a fucking asshole to me and my girls. Immediately find a bouncer. He's gone, you know, like you need people around you that can like take care of you and protect you. And I don't think you should ever like be in a position where you don't have that. I think that is amazing. It's brilliant. I'm so glad that like the bar and club scene has and does enforce that for a long time. I mean, there's always bouncers, you know what I mean? And they're there to do a singular job, which is make sure everybody's safe. And they better goddamn do that. Whether you're a bouncer or you have a manager or something that you can trust with your life, I think that's very important, especially working late night. And I don't think I would go to a bar or a club or even work in a space around people like that or drunk people in general if I do not have that safety aspect in place. But yes, the meaner you are, the more they like you, the higher they tip. I don't know what it is, but literally I learned this from this mean ass, and I say this in like the most positive way possible, like mean ass fucking Aries bitch. Oh my god, she's the baddest bitch ever, but I learned a lot from her. She taught me how to bartend. She taught me how to take care of the bar. She was my manager for a while, and I thought she didn't like me, but no, she just has resting bitch face and she can be a bitch sometimes. But I I learned very goddamn quickly, like, oh my God, people love it. People love it. I low-key loved it. I was like, oh my God, wow. You know, she was never standing behind that bar giggling, swinging her feet or laughing. No, no, no. What do you want? What are you here for? What are you drinking? Here's your tab. Tip me as much as you possibly can, because I know you have it. Like, she taught me everything there is. And I remember her looking me in the face and being like, don't laugh at their stupid ass jokes. Don't appease them. Like, set your boundaries, set them strong, or else they will overstep them. And don't be afraid to be a little mean. This is your bar and they're at it, period. Once again, why I love strong older women. They have so much to teach us. Finally, single. How do I feel sexy and fun again after being in a numbing depressive state? You're going to be like a little baby deer finding your legs again. Now, post breakup, post like depressive state where you're like, but what if they're the one? But what if you have to enter this like manic era where you just try to do as much as you possibly can. And I don't mean like adding things to your plate to overwhelm yourself. No. Or like distract yourself. I mean, become the bitch you've always wanted to become. There's something about coming out of like a numbing depressive state that puts you into like a new skin and gives you the random energy to do anything you possibly want. It is a very powerful time energetically. You may not feel it, but you get to a point where you're like, okay, I have nothing to lose. Fuck it, I'll go start horseback riding lessons. Fuck it, let's go out, let's go to a bar. Fuck it, let's go try this pottery class. Fuck it, I want to be the girl who does this, let me go try it. I want to be the girl who does this, let me go try it. I want to be the girl who wears this, let me go try it. I'm going to wear my tightest dress out even though I've never worn a tight dress in my entire life. Like, you have to kind of become delusionally confident and hype up that delusion within yourself so then you are willing to try everything. It is a great time for self-exploration and self-development. I mean, if you think about it, you feel like a brand new baby. You do. You feel like Mr. Krabs out his shell, like all jelly-like. You're supposed to. You're entering a new era. It can feel very raw and real. So this is the time to be like, okay, fuck it. Who am I? What am I trying? What do I want to do? What kind of life do I want to live? Do I want to move to a new city? Let's do it. Like, fuck it. What do we have to lose? There's no one holding me back. There's no one holding you back. Like, go try it. Go out there. Go get something done. Anything you possibly dream of. Bitch, pull up that Pinterest board right now. Go through your pins for the past 6 months. All of those things that you're like, oh my God, I want to be that girl. I want to be doing that thing. I want to be wearing that thing. I want to be living in that place. Go do it now. The energy is high. The universe is on your side. And it will propel you forward into a very secure, positive place. It can feel a little embarrassing looking back. Like, I think back to my old single era and I'm like, oh my God, I was doing anything and everything under the sun. But it also was so freeing and it helped me really understand who I was going to be in that next era because I was so willing to try anything, to put myself out there, to go on that random date, to go to that random place, to try out this random club, whatever it may be. Even if you're not in like the going out mood, that's okay. Go try a hobby, go try a new class, go start working out, whatever it is, you know. This is the time to indulge. Like I said, the universe is on your side. The energy's high. You're building from the ground up. Build a good foundation of trying a bunch of different things so then the next step you take is in understanding of who you are and what you actually desire. And also, I know it hurts, but congratulations on the new era. Someone said, hi, Hannah, did you tell your boyfriend about your exes? If you don't tell them, is that hiding it? No, I think you should definitely talk about your exes. I don't think it should be something that constantly comes up in conversation. There's nothing worse than having like a partner who's like, oh, what you do reminds me of my ex, or oh my God, my ex used to do this, or blah, 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 blah. Oh my God, shut up. Like, have you not moved on? And if you're not moved on, I don't want to be with you. But I do think when you're getting into a new relationship at the beginning stages, you should talk about what you've been through. I think that is something that you should have a conversation about. You two should be mature enough to have that conversation as well. My ex fucked me up in these ways. I actually enjoyed spending time with my ex because of these things. I've dated these people in the past. it should be a conversation that you have. Absolutely. It should be a conversation you have early on so you can understand the person that you're with a little bit better and they can understand you better as well. But it should not be something that constantly comes up in conversation. Ugh. It's the worst. It's like, okay, you're just not over them. You're just not over them. If you're 1-2 years into a relationship and your boyfriend or girlfriend is still like, oh, but my ex did this. It's like, oh my God. Okay. Like, if it's still a problem, like that's something you need to go to a therapist about. But also, like, why the hell is it still coming up in conversation? That's when I'm like, okay, red flag, you gotta stop talking about it. You need like professional help. But at the very beginning, yes, I think a good conversation should be had about your past and previous dating experience, not only for yourself, but also for the other person. So you can ask yourself, ooh, what kind of relationships have they been in? Have they been good? Have they been bad? Have they been the problem? So then maybe you can like, Raven's vision it and be like, is this a person I even want to be with if they treated their ex this way? Yeah. Why is breaking up in a healthy relationship so much worse than a toxic one? Oh, it really is. It really is. It really is. Because the thing is with a toxic one, I think you kind of mentally leave the relationship way early on, or you just know in your heart it's not supposed to work, you know? Sure, you have your ups, your downs, but all of those downs, those are very easy to remember. When you're in a relationship where there's not a lot of downs, it's easy to remember only the good things because it probably was a good thing. You had a good time. You had an enjoyable time together, but you understand that maybe this was just a moment in time. It didn't need to last a lifetime. And that is truly 10 times more heartbreaking than like, oh my God, this person just didn't like me. You know, when it's like, no, we liked each other. We just know it's not going to work. It is way more heartbreaking than, oh wow, I needed to leave, I needed to go. Think like La La Land. Like that movie is so genuinely heartbreaking. It's like, oh my God, but what if? But they just knew it's not supposed to be. Versus like, I don't know an abusive boyfriend movie, but it's like you'll be rooting for the girl, like, get out of there, you shouldn't be with that person. And also there's just like a lot of questioning behind it. Like, did I make the right decision? But what if? Like my first ever relationship I was ever in, he kind of broke up with me, but it was also in a way of like, I love you and I know like the next phase in my life, it's just going to be really hard on us. So I'm going to be mature and leave this relationship because I'm leaving states. Like we just can't I don't want to do long distance. And he knew I didn't want to do long distance. That was so heartbreaking compared to like my last breakup where it was like, this man's evil. I need to purge him like an exorcism because I knew I needed to leave one, and the other one, I could imagine the future. It just brings up a lot of questioning, a lot of self-doubt, and it's hard to look back on the positive and try and think negatively about it, you know? My first breakup had me listening to TED Talks about heartbreak. And am I going to be okay? It physically felt like my heart was ripping in half. They call it heartbreak because you can literally feel your heart hurting. It is actually insane. After my last breakup, sure, I felt that a little bit, but honestly, I felt more free than anything. I feel like maybe I had gone through the breakup in the relationship. But sometimes it's just like we had our moment in time and now it's time to come to an end. Now it's time for a new journey. And it's very bittersweet, but you two know what's necessary for each other. You know what's good for you. You know what the next era is. And it's okay to look back at that time in your life fondly and be like, we had a good time together and I'm very thankful for all of those good times, but I know that my next moment in life is just going to be different. And I don't think that this is a person or a place or a thing that I can bring with me. Sometimes you got to really shut the door and lock it to open up a new era for yourself or a new thing for yourself. It's like mourning a person too. So take your time if you need it, if you're going through that. Like I said, it literally feels like your heart is tearing apart, which is actually psychologically crazy. So if you need time, if you need space, girl, take it. Take care of yourself. Surround yourself with friends. Surround yourself with love. Treat yourself to everything you possibly desire. And just know at the end of the day, you will be better for it. You will get over it. And there is so much more love out there. That's the one thing that like I mean, I've been through a couple relationships at this point in my time in my life, and every time you come out of it, you're like, but what if there's not something better out there? There's all the funny thing is there's always something better out there. If anything, you're just going to learn more about love. You're going to fall deeper in love. You're going to find better love because you have more experience in love. It's like jobs, you know, like I'm not going to stay at my old fucking babysitting gig because I've tried other jobs. I know there's better ones out there. I know there's higher paying ones out there. All right. And that just comes with experience and understanding and knowing. The more you know yourself, the more you grow up, the more you know love, the more you're probably going to fall deeper in love. And I think that's so beautiful. So if you're worried about not finding love out there again, don't worry. You absolutely fucking will. And it will be 10 times better than anything you could have ever possibly imagined. Trust in that. Help. Edibles give me so much anxiety. How to get over it? I fear that's just a part of the edible high is like, oh my God, I feel like I'm on a roller coaster and my hands are off the wheel. There's no steering it. You just got to ride it out. And I've talked about that a lot, but I want to talk about something different. Do you guys ever have like a bad high, but it's more so weed like making you aware of a situation? Do you guys ever have that moment? Like, I think weed can be such a teacher because sometimes, like, I'm not even kidding, sometimes I'll smoke weed in a group setting or with a person or around people, and it like makes me so in tune to everything, like so undeniably in tune to everything that I'm like, oh my God, I'm around evil people right now. Oh my God, how have I not seen this before? It's like the facade falls. It's very interesting. The same way like I talk about right now, like the veil getting thin. Everything. When I say the veil getting thin, I don't also mean like in a spiritual way, like only a spiritual way. I mean right now the veil is thin in intentions right now with people are very clear. How they're behaving towards you, you need to be very aware of. People are being direct right now. People are being open right now. People are showing them their true colors. And we need to just be aware the veil is thin and that this is reality, okay? But weed also has a way of like thinning the veil, especially during a time where maybe it's just not naturally occurring in the universe. But sometimes it's like, oh my God, I'm like, sometimes I'll smoke weed and I'm like, oh my God, I'm surrounded by losers, and not in a bad way. It's just like, wow, I did not think I'd be associating with these people at this point in time in my life. Or it's like I smoke weed and I look at somebody and I'm like, how did I not realize that I just like hate this person? And it's not like a mean or deceptive way where it's like, oh, I hate this person because they're ugly, or oh, these are all losers. It's like, no. I just want more for myself and I didn't know I'd be here. Have you ever experienced that with weed? Edibles will definitely do that to you. That's for sure. But sometimes it just takes like one hit of the weed to be like, wait a minute, I'm seeing everything for what it is. And that freaks me the fuck out. When you notice that, you need to listen to it. When it's regards to yourself, like sometimes weed makes me anxious and like it makes me like start thinking a lot of negative things about myself. Don't listen to that. Don't listen to that. Don't listen to that. But when it's telling you things about a situation in front of you and it seems scary or anxiety inducing, but it's just reality, you need to listen to those things. That is you. You've been clouding your judgment for so long. Finally, your judgment is not clouded. Finally, you're forced to literally look at the life around you with no rose-colored glasses and high anxiety. And it's going to tell you everything you need to know and exactly what your next steps are going to be. But it is really silly how sometimes weed has the ability to do that. I actually had this moment a week ago. I won't go into details, but I definitely like smoked some weed around some people, and all of a sudden I was like left alone and left with all of the obligations, and I was like, oh my God, like this is just how this is how these people treat women. Like they just leave women with all of the obligations. They leave women with all of the job. Like they just see woman around and equate woman to person doing all the work. And I literally had a moment where I was like, I need to get out of here. I need to get out of here. This is crazy. This is wild. This is such a bad high, like such bad vibes going on around here. And I'm not the one creating the bad vibes. Like, listen, I am a big hearted woman. That's for goddamn sure. And I'm realizing things in treatment that I am just not okay with. It was spooky. It was scary. I literally had to get out my notes app and write down what was happening just in case I was to forget. But I titled it Bad High. That's how intense it was. I literally was like, oh no, this is not okay. Hannah, you cannot just wave this off as being like, oh, I just was smoking weed and I got anxious. It's like, no, the weed was not the problem. The weed was making you aware. The problem was the treatment and the people you're around and how much you don't want to ever experience that again. Yeah. Even at my grown age, sometimes you have those realizations, and the only decision you can make in that moment is one that's going to better your future, one that's going to take you out of that environment and put you in a better one. Okay, you have to listen to it. Sometimes the paranoia you gotta ignore, but sometimes the paranoia be rooted in truth, babe, and you always have to listen to truth. You do. Oh, but a bad high will teach you a lot of things. It will. And if you want a bad high, edibles are the way to go. Edibles and dabs. Dabs always have me on my fucking ass. I cannot do dabs that often. I had my bad high because I smoked a dab and I didn't realize it was a dab. They were just like, oh, here's the rig. And it looked like a bong. But then all of a sudden I'm like, oh, whoa, I'm way too fucking high right now. That'll put me on my ass. And also edibles. That's why I can only do edibles in a safe environment. I'm literally like soft lighting, comfy, cozy bed, half of one. Let's not overdo it. Water bottle full, maybe a little snack if I'm feeling crazy. Like big, comfy, cozy energy. I have to set the vibes right. That's for sure. But please, now more so than ever, ladies, I think there's a lot of people going through breakups right now. I think there's a lot of people like realizing things about their life and wanting to make drastic changes. Now is not the time to lean into chaos or to run away from your life, especially with the veil being thin right now. We are seeing the truth in ourselves. We are seeing the truth in other people. We are seeing the truth in life itself, and you must face truth head on. Is it a truth that you want to accept for yourself? Is it a truth that you want to accept for your partner or for the people you hold around you or for the life that you're living? Or would you like to change your truth? What's beautiful about life is we always have the opportunity to change, to do better, to say, no, this isn't for me, or no, I want more, to communicate that with yourself, with the people around you, to go after what you desire. It takes hard work. It takes dedication. It takes awareness. But please do not ever run from the truth. Running from the truth will have you digging a hole that will just be impossible to climb out of if you keep digging and digging and digging. It's okay to dig a little bit and then be like, oh my God, I'm up to my neck. We have to get out of here before you're 6 feet in the goddamn ground. You know what I mean? And I think I see a lot of people, especially, I mean, like, I'm just aware of people in my life and I'm around a lot of different people, especially just like working in the service industry sometimes, that I see them and sometimes I'm like, I can't be like that person. And I think a lot of it has to do with them running from the truth, running from what is in front of them, running from the reality of what their life is instead of just running towards the good, running towards something new, trying something new, taking a risk, taking a change, moving forward towards betterment. Okay, never run from your life. Life is always moving with you and you don't want it to get ahead of you. Okay, babe? But the veil is thin. Be aware of the truths. Be aware of how you feel. Let those rose-colored glasses fall. Listen to your heart. Listen to the universe around you, and everything will be okay. And don't give fear to those ghosts, girl. They're just passing through. Like, sure, you can take up space as much as I am, whatever. But if you want to see me get into the spookier, witchier side of things, vlog going up this week early on the Patreon, patreon.com/smokeseshshotty. We also have an extra episode every week there. I think the past one was 2 hours long. We had 50 questions to get to, and yes, I got to all 50 of them. Monday inspiration, Sunday spirit. I just uploaded our book club book of the month. It took me a while to find one, but it's really witchy and like old. It's so fun. And then that vlog will be up for everybody else on YouTube at Hannah Marlene 444. And if you want to see more from me, recipes, new fun things every week. If you just want to see what's going on in my life, I talked about that like backyard concert. Of course, I'm posting about it on my Instagram at Hannah Marlene. But with that being said, stay sane, stay sexy, and I'll see you all so soon. Mwah!